10 black actors who are gay then and now. 26. What if the actors you admired most, the ones who made you cry, made you laugh, made you believe in storytelling again, were living a truth that Hollywood spent decades trying to erase? Not rumor, not speculation. Documented, confirmed, hidden in plain sight. 10 of the most powerful black performers in entertainment history carried stories the industry never wanted center stage. Some paid with silence, some paid with careers, some paid with their health, and some, finally, refused to pay at all. What you are about to hear is not gossip. It is history that was deliberately kept quiet. Until now. If that makes you uncomfortable,
it is an honor to be here tonight,
good.
celebrating the very
Stay
best
anyway.
in global excellence.
Subscribe to
We have
Hidden
one more
Celebrity
very
Stories.
special award to
Hit the
present.
notification
It
bell
is an honor to
and
be here
drop a
tonight,
comment
celebrating
below,
the very best in
because
global
this
excellence.
conversation is
We have
only
one
just
more
beginning.
very special award to present.
Billy Porter. September 22nd, 2019. The Emmys, a name is called. And for the first time in the 71-year history of the ceremony, an openly gay black man walks to the stage to accept the award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. That man was Billy Porter, and nothing about that moment was accidental. Born September 21st, 1969, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Porter survived a childhood that would have silenced most people permanently. Sexual abuse at the hands of his stepfather, a church that called his identity an abomination, a household where love came wrapped in shame. He processed none of it quietly. He processed it through performance, through song, through the relentless pursuit of stages willing to hold him. Carnegie Mellon University's drama program sharpened what survival had already forged. By the early 1990s, he was on Broadway, The Miss Saigon, Five Guys Named Mo, Smokey Joe's Cafe. Serious, sustained work, recognized within the theater world and almost entirely invisible outside it. For nearly 20 years, Porter operated in that gap between excellence and mainstream acknowledgement. Kinky Boots closed the gap. His portrayal of Lola in 2013 earned him the Tony, the Drama Desk Award, and the following year, the Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album. 3 landmark awards. 1 role. Still, Hollywood hesitated. Ryan Murphy did not hesitate. Pose arrived in 2018, and Porter's portrayal of Pray Tell, an MC navigating ballroom culture and the AIDS crisis, gave American television one of its finest performances of the decade. 3 consecutive Emmy nominations followed. The third brought the win. He disclosed his HIV diagnosis, received in June 2007, publicly in May 2021, 14 years after the fact, because silence had already taken too many people he loved. His tuxedo gown at the 2019 Oscars crashed the internet in real time. His marriage to Adam Smith, at January 14, 2017, ended amicably in July 2023. At 56, Porter holds an Emmy, a Tony, and a Grammy. He earned every single one in rooms that weren't built for him, and walked out owning them anyway. Laverne Cox. The cover of Time magazine, June 9, 2014. 3 words beneath her photograph: the transgender tipping point. Laverne Cox did not manufacture that moment. She survived her way to it. Born May 29, 1972, in Mobile, Alabama, Cox was assigned male at birth and grew up navigating a Southern childhood that offered no language for what she knew herself to be. Bullying was constant. The path forward was unclear. She moved to New York City, studied dance and fine arts, and spent years auditioning for an industry that had almost no framework for placing her. Her early television appearances, Law and Order, A VH1 reality series, the makeover show Transform Me, kept her working without making her visible. The machinery of Hollywood is slow to recognize what it hasn't seen before. Cox kept showing up anyway. Netflix's Orange is the New Black cast her as Sophia Bursett in 2012. The character, a transgender woman incarcerated while fighting for hormone access and basic dignity, was written with rare intelligence. Cox brought to Sophia a fullness that dismantled every flattened representation that had come before. The response reshaped television. In 2014, she became the first openly transgender person nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award in an acting category. That same summer, the Time cover. In 2015, the first openly transgender person to win a Daytime Emmy, as producer of Laverne Cox presents The T-Word. She received Primetime Emmy nominations again in 2017 and 2019, totaling 4 across her career, more than any openly transgender performer in Emmy history. Her subsequent credits include Promising Young Woman, 2020, or Inventing Anna, 2022, and the upcoming Netflix film Uglies. She has appeared on the covers of British Vogue, Cosmopolitan, and Essence, firsts for an openly transgender woman each time. At 53, Cox operates at the intersection of artistry and urgency in a political climate where that intersection has never been more dangerous or more necessary. Colman Domingo. There is a particular kind of career that gets built in the dark, without fanfare, without viral moments, without the machinery of celebrity amplifying every step. Colman Domingo built that career for 30 years. Then the lights came on, and the industry realized it had been watching a master all along. Born November 28, 1969, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Domingo studied journalism at Temple University before relocating to San Francisco and committing fully to theater. He wrote plays. He directed productions. He developed an autobiographical one-man show, A Boy and His Soul, that won him a GLAAD Award and a Lucille Lortel Award when it premiered off-Broadway at the Vineyard Theater in 2010. Drama Desk nomination. Drama League nomination. Recognition from people who understood what they were seeing. Broadway had already taken notice. Surpassing Strange in 2007. The Scottsboro Boys in 2010, which earned him a Tony nomination for Best Featured Actor in a Musical. The same production transferred to London's West End in 2013, earning him an Olivier Award nomination. He played Billy Flynn in Chicago, one of Broadway's longest-running productions. Television audiences discovered him through 8 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, where Victor Strand became one of genre television's most unpredictable, morally complex figures. Then Euphoria gave him Ally, a single season, a handful of scenes, a diner table opposite Zendaya, and the Television Academy awarded him the 2022 Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series. Rustin elevated everything. His portrayal of Bayard Rustin earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor, only the second openly gay man in Oscar history after Sir Ian McKellen, nominated specifically for playing a gay character. He and husband Raul Domingo, found through a Craigslist missed connections post in 2005, married in 2014, 20 years together this year. Sing Sing followed. Then the 4 seasons opposite Tina Fey and Steve Carell. The work keeps arriving because the foundation was never fragile. Wanda Sykes. She spent 5 years at the National Security Agency before anyone heard her voice. Born March 7, 1964, in Portsmouth, Virginia, Wanda Sykes graduated from Hampton University with a marketing degree and joined the NSA as a procurement specialist, a career that offered stability, security, and absolutely no room for the person she actually was. The stand-up stage in late 1980s Washington, D.C. gave her that room. She never looked back. A chance encounter led her to open for Chris Rock in New York in 1997. He recognized immediately what she had. He hired her as a writer for The Chris Rock Show on HBO. 2 years later, in 1999, she took home the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing for a Variety or Music Program, her first major industry recognition and a signal of what was coming. Her television presence expanded steadily through the 2000s. Curb Your Enthusiasm. The New Adventures of Old Christine, where her recurring role as Barb, alongside Julia Louis-Dreyfus, became one of comedy television's finest double acts. Voice work in Ice Age and Over the Hedge brought her into households that didn't follow stand-up. Entertainment Weekly named her one of America's 25 funniest people in 2004. She headlined arenas. Her stand-up specials sharpened with every passing year. November 15, 2008 is the date that recontextualized everything. At a Las Vegas rally protesting the passage of Proposition 8, Sykes stepped forward without a prepared statement and publicly came out as gay, revealing simultaneously that she had married Alex Nidbalski, a French businesswoman, on October 25, 2008, just weeks earlier, during California's brief marriage equality window. She had never intended to make a speech that night. Fury made the decision for her. Twins Olivia and Lucas arrived in 2009. Her 2019 Netflix special Not Normal demonstrated that neither age nor visibility had softened her precision. At 62, Sykes remains exactly who she chose to be. On November 15, 2008, in a Las Vegas parking lot without a script. Lena Waithe. September 17, 2017, the 69th Primetime Emmy Awards. Lena Waithe walked to the stage in a suit, accepted the award for Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series, and became the first Black woman in Emmy history to win in that category. She was 33 years old. She had been working toward that moment for over a decade, mostly invisibly. Born May 17, 1984, on Chicago's South Side, Waithe grew up shaped by a city and a community that television almost never portrayed with accuracy or affection. She relocated to Los Angeles after high school, driven by an understanding of storytelling's power that preceded any formal training. Her entry into the industry was through the door that was open. Production assistants, writer's room observation, the slow accumulation of knowledge that the industry doesn't hand to anyone. Now, she worked behind the scenes on Girlfriends and Bones. She paid attention. She waited for the right collaborator and found one in Aziz Ansari, whose Master of None gave her both an acting role and a co-writing credit on the episode that would define her publicly, Thanksgiving. The episode spans 3 decades of holiday dinners as Denise, drawn directly from Waithe's own experience, moves from childhood confusion to young adult avoidance to the moment of truth with her mother. The writing trusted its audience completely. The Emmy confirmed the audience had been listening. The Chai, which she created for Showtime in 2018, became one of the network's most watched dramas, a portrait of South Side Chicago that refused simplification. Boomerang followed for BET in 2019. Through Hillman Grad Productions, Aishi builds infrastructure, development deals, first-look agreements, opportunities for creators who otherwise wouldn't get the meeting. She identifies as a lesbian. She speaks about intersectionality not as theory, but as daily practice. She appeared in Ready Player One and Westworld. But the camera has never been her primary instrument. The industry she inherited wasn't built for her. The one she's building looks different. Lee Daniels. His father beat him for being gay. His father was also, by all accounts, a man who loved books and poetry and died too young. Lee Daniels has spent 66 years holding both truths simultaneously and turning the tension between them into cinema. Born December 24, 1959, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Daniels was the eldest of 5 children raised in West Philadelphia by a police officer father, William, who was fatally shot in the line of duty when Lee was 13. The grief was tangled. The relationship had been defined, in part, by his father's violent response to early signs of his son's homosexuality. Daniels attended Lindenwood University in Missouri before relocating to Los Angeles. He founded a nursing agency that served AIDS patients during the epidemic's most devastating years, the 1980s, when he watched more than 40 friends die from the disease. Survivor's Guilt became a private engine. He sold the agency for approximately $3 million, transitioned into entertainment as a casting director and talent manager, representing clients including Morgan Freeman and Cuba Gooding Jr., and founded Lee Daniels Entertainment in 2001. Monsters Ball that same year gave Halle Berry the role that earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress, the first Black woman ever to win in that category. Daniels produced it. Precious, 2009, received 6 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director. The directing nomination made him the second African American in Academy history to receive that honor, after John Singleton in 1992. Monique won Best Supporting Actress. Empire, 2015 to 2020, co-created with Danny Strong. I peaked at over 17 million viewers per episode. The United States vs. Billie Holiday, 2021, delivered Andra Day a Golden Globe for Best Actress. Daniels has described his sexuality as fluid. He raised twins Clara and Liam from infancy, adopting them with former partner Billy Hopkins. At 66, he continues making the films his father told him weren't worth making. Every frame carries that conversation. Karamo Brown. He came out at 15, in the South, in the mid-1990s, without a roadmap, without a community, without any cultural reference point that reflected his specific experience as a gay Black teenager. He did it because silence felt more dangerous than the alternative. Born November 2, 1980, in Houston, Texas, and raised in Miramar, Florida, Karamo Brown attended Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, a name that would carry different weight after February 14, 2018. Before enrolling at Florida A&M University, one of the country's most respected historically Black universities. He graduated and, in 2004, walked into a casting process that would make history before he fully understood what history was. The Real World. Philadelphia made him the first openly gay Black man cast on an American reality television series. He went on the show to experience life on camera. What he couldn't anticipate was the correspondence that followed, the letters and messages from young Black men across the country who had never seen themselves in that space. The aftermath was difficult. He has spoken candidly about a subsequent period of substance use, destructive behavior, and psychological unraveling, the cost of sudden, unprepared visibility. The reckoning came in 2007 when he discovered he had a 9-year-old son, Jason, born from a high school relationship. The child's mother had not disclosed Jason's existence. Karamo gained full custody. He later adopted Jason's half-brother, Christian. Fatherhood restructured everything. He earned licensure as a psychotherapist and social worker, built a practice focused on LGBTQ+ youth and trauma survivors, and operated largely outside public view for nearly a decade, doing work that mattered without anyone watching. Queer Eye returned him to television in 2018. His role as culture expert, grounded in actual clinical training, gave the show its emotional architecture. His memoir, his children's book with Jason, his co-founding of 6in10.org, each reflects the same commitment: to turn personal experience into something that protects the next person who is 15 years old and terrified. Jared Carmichael. The lights in the Blue Note Jazz Club were turned almost completely down. The audience could barely see the stage. Jared Carmichael preferred it that way, because what he was about to say had never been said in public before, and darkness felt safer than exposure. He came out as gay anyway. Born July 6, 1987, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Carmichael grew up in a household organized around faith, family expectation, and unspoken rules about what could and could not be said. He was the youngest of 6 children. At 20, with minimal resources and maximum determination, he moved to Los Angeles and began performing at open mics, developing a style that operated against comedy's instinct toward relief. Carmichael's jokes didn't let audiences off the hook. They tightened the grip. His debut HBO special, Love at the Store, 2014, and directed by Spike Lee, established his voice nationally. The Carmichael Show, NBC, 2015 to 2017, which he created, wrote, produced, and starred in, ran for 32 episodes across 3 seasons, tackling gun violence, police brutality, religion, and intergenerational Black family dynamics with a directness that drew consistent comparisons to Norman Lear. NBC canceled it despite critical praise. Rothaniel, filmed at the Blue Note in New York City and released on HBO in April 2022, redefined what a comedy special could be. It had almost no jokes. Instead, it had confession. Deliberate, controlled, and structurally meticulous. Carmichael came out as gay, examined his family's hidden histories, and demonstrated that comedy's highest function is not laughter, but recognition. The special won the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Writing for a Variety Special. The New York Times placed it among the finest television of the year. The rupture within his religious family was real and ongoing. In January 2023, he hosted the 80th Golden Globe Awards and used the platform to deliver pointed commentary about Hollywood's diversity failures to the faces of the people responsible. At 38, Carmichael remains the most uncomfortable comedian working. That is entirely the point. Titus Burgess. 4 consecutive Emmy nominations. 4 years of the Television Academy acknowledging, in writing, that the performance happening on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt was among the finest in American comedy. 4 consecutive years without a win. Titus Burgess has never appeared to be diminished by that fact. If anything, the nominations, and the conversation surrounding them, helped clarify something important about what the industry was and wasn't ready to celebrate. Born February 21, 1979, in Athens, Georgia, Burgess grew up singing in church, an environment that trained the ear and the voice in ways no conservatory fully replicates. He studied musical theater at the University of Georgia, moved to New York with the methodical seriousness of someone who understood that talent alone does not open doors, and began the incremental work of Broadway. Good Vibrations, 2005. Jersey Boys, 2006 to 2008. The Little Mermaid, 2008 to 2009, where his Sebastian earned consistent critical notice within the theater world. He was building, role by role, season by season, a foundation solid enough to hold whatever came next. What came next was Titus Andromedon. Netflix's unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, created by Tina Fey and Robert Carlock and premiering in 2015, gave Burgess a character that existed in the register of camp but demanded something deeper. Titus, broke, theatrical, catastrophically self-aware, and simultaneously self-deluded, could have been played for surface humor. Burgess refused that option. He found Titus's grief, his hunger, his specific brand of resilience, and brought it forward in every scene. The result was a performance that sustained 4 seasons and earned recognition that outlasted the show itself. He is openly gay and has been throughout his professional life, without announcement, without ceremony, as simple fact. His subsequent credits include voice roles in Central Park and Schmigadoon, gospel and holiday recordings that deploy a vocal range most performers spend careers developing, and a sustained presence in conversations about representation that is grounded in specificity rather than abstraction. Burgess occupies his space completely. That, in itself, is the statement. Jeremy Pope. Numb. The 2018 to 2019 Broadway season produced, among its many notable achievements, a moment with almost no precedent in American theatrical history. A 26-year-old actor from Orlando, Florida, received 2 Tony Award nominations in the same season, one for Best Actor in a Play, one for Best Featured Actor in a Musical. Only 5 performers in Broadway's entire recorded history had accomplished that. Jeremy Pope became the 6th. Born April 4, 1992, in Orlando, Pope trained at the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City, a conservatory whose alumni have populated Broadway and screen for decades, before making his way to the stages that would reveal the full scope of what he had developed. Choir Boy, Terrell Alvin McCraney's play about a gay black student navigating identity within a prestigious prep school's choral program, that gave him 1 nomination. Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, where his embodiment of founding member Eddie Kendricks crackled with kinetic precision, gave him the other. Ryan Murphy cast him immediately in Hollywood, 2020. The Netflix limited series reimagining 1940s Los Angeles cinema as it might have been, had the industry allowed its marginalized voices to lead. Pope's Archie Coleman, a black gay screenwriter fighting for authorship over his own story, earned him a Primetime Emmy nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie. The Inspection, 2022, directed by Elegance Bratton from his own autobiographical material, required Pope to inhabit a gay black Marine recruit navigating institutional homophobia, physical extremity, and the specific grief of a mother's rejection. The performance was devastating with extraordinary discipline. A Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama placed him in conversation with the industry's most celebrated film actors. He is openly queer. He releases original music. He speaks with precision about the distinction between being seen as an actor who is queer versus a queer actor, a distinction his work insists upon with every role. At 34, the trajectory is still ascending. The stage found him first. Everything since has been confirmation. These 10 men and women did not simply exist in Hollywood. They insisted on it. They walked into rooms designed to exclude them, performed on stages that had never held someone like them, and told truths that the industry had spent decades paying other people to suppress. Some came out boldly, some quietly, some at tremendous personal cost. Some are transgender, some gay, some queer. And the distinctions matter because erasure often begins with the assumption that one story covers all. But here is the question worth sitting with. Does visibility in entertainment actually translate to progress in real life? Or does Hollywood celebrate these stories on screen while the world outside the theater moves in the opposite direction? Drop your answer below. And if these stories deserve to be told, subscribe to Hidden Celebrity Stories. Because the ones the industry tries to keep quiet are always the most important ones.